This is International Professional Communication. This week we focus on 2 chapters in the Varner and Beamer text, and you will decide which one you want to choose to focus on the most. But to begin, here's the scenario. You're planning to travel to your target country, so you should be sure and visit this University of Minnesota site. It's our GPS alliance, and it has specific information regarding technology and data, and which are legal for you to have with you. Check it out. Talk about what you find in the course forum. So again, you will either follow a focus that stems from Chapter 10 or Chapter 11. In the course forum, because it's so full, this is why I say, choose one or the other. You are certainly welcome to focus on both if you like. But please develop a title for your posting that identifies your focus so others will know which conversations to join. And I believe this week only has one discussion leader. So she will focus on one of these and I will focus on the other as part of continuing our conversations. Let's look first at Chapter 10. Note the opening case. Here are a couple of key questions. What can or should businesses do to stay within the law of the various countries, especially if those laws are conflicting? How do people from different legal systems communicate about issues that are regulated differently in each culture? Be sure to focus on pages 371 to 375, the 4 types of law. Code law. Emphasis there is on the wording of the law rather than similar cases that have been tried previously. It's about the wording. It's about the language. Code law is deductive. Okay, well, common law decisions are made based on precedent. Okay, similar cases. Common law as a result is inductive. And the third, Islamic law, it's based on the Quran, the holy book of Islam. So in contrast to Western systems, it's concerned with ethics and moral issues over commercial law or negotiations. Now, notice that Varner and Beamer indicate that social law is losing importance, and they provide examples of changes in Russia and China. Given our certain national and international situation, especially as it relates to Russia, what are your thoughts on socialist law? Okay, the additional resources associated with Chapter 10 include this one by Varner and Varmer, discussion of the relationship between culture and legal systems and its impact on intercultural business communication. Very good piece. This one as well by Tiana Harrington. Tiana Harrington has done a great deal of work in technical communication, clear focus on global intellectual property law, human rights, and TechCom. Just excellent, excellent work. I don't include this on the Canvas site, but I wanted to point it out also in terms of different issues facing technical communicators. For example, when I'm working with the University of Trieste and working across globally networked learning environments, again, the importance to attend to and understand differences in copyright. It's not looked at the same over the world over. Plagiarism, censorship, defamation, defining safe places, or what is known as the commons. Anyway, this is excellent work in this with this study as well. In terms of international copyright and what our national association, the Society of Technical Communication, and its detail about this, I want to make sure that all of you in the technical writing and communication and the graduate programs as well, the Certificate in Technical Communication, are aware of the Technical Communication Body of Knowledge, tcbok.org. I have simply used the search box here, and have searched on international copyright. So you get some detail here. It's a nice wiki for use for any technical communication topic. Another resource to get a sense of the world intellectual property organization is WIPO. It's a global forum. I've taken a screenshot of it now in this spring time frame. But notice the link on international IP rules, intellectual property rules for a changing world. It's pretty interesting. Now we think of copyright. Think of the one entity holding the copyright. You may or may not be aware of Creative Commons. It develops, supports, and stewards legal and technical infrastructure. Okay, what it means is that you can license your work by using Creative Commons. You can allow others to use it and to build on it. This is the screenshot from the Creative Commons site a year ago. This is what it looks like now, in the sense it has a new header when you go to creativecommons.org. It's orange. But I use this screenshot to just show the nice tool they have, where you can choose the features from a list, get some additional information if you want, but it will lead you to the type of license that you need. Now, anyone can use this. Okay, so you can take a piece that you've written from this course, and you can put a Creative Commons license on it if you like. Now, what do these do? The Creative Commons licenses and tools forge a balance inside the traditional all rights reserved setting that copyright law creates. Their tools give everyone, from individuals to large companies and institutions, a simple, standardized way to grant copyright permissions for creative work. So when you see the CC, this symbol here, when you see it on things, you will know it has a Creative Commons licensing infrastructure. It simply is meant, as they state, to ensure that it's respected by a community of people who apply their licenses, the CC, to enable much more open access of information. It actually offers a core of 6 types of licenses, and it's been the whole thing has been written to conform to international treaties governing copyright, which is why I include it in this particular module. Very important to go to look at, to explore. How does it work? There's a large Creative Commons affiliates network, comprised, as they say, of legal experts and other professionals around the world who are associated with Creative Commons. You can get to, obviously all the resources, agreements, the international agreements, all of the different tools. And what I find very interesting are just to explore the regions. In doing so, okay, because one of you is working with Argentina, I thought, okay, what is the latest there? And when I searched on it, I got it from 2012, even though it was a search from now. But interestingly, it's just there is an affiliate group there. You can get to the information and find out what they're doing in terms of the Creative Commons licensing. You can also search again by any country, and you can find its information, its license draft. So this is an important tool to have in your toolbox and to be aware of it, because you will most likely be working in a company that needs you to have this knowledge for when you are preparing information for use by or with other countries. I mentioned Tiana Harrington earlier. Her article on international fair use is another one that is excellent. It is in the Technical Communication Journal. Her key points about fair use. Fair use as it exists legally in the U.S. does not exist in international intellectual property agreements. As I mentioned, with teaching and working with other countries, as I do, I have to keep this strongly in my mind, because there's so much that I can share with you that falls under fair use that I may or may not be able to use in teaching and work with other countries, other institutions worldwide. Technical communicators have a big stake in how international legal issues can affect their interactions and control what happens to what you create. Technical communicators may use others' intellectual products within the limits of fair use to create their own and thus participate in the exchange of ideas. So very important chapter. The next one, equally important, but if you're more interested in the influence of business structures and corporate culture on international professional communication, this is the chapter to focus the most on. I just highlight some key quotes here. Some corporate structures obviously encourage greater intercultural understanding than others. Seems very obvious. Corporate culture acts as a glue to connect employees from many cultures. Now, think to your memo on a multinational corporation. I say multinational. A multinational firm here has a nationality. It's French, Japanese, whatever company, it has a nationality. Whereas if you term it a global firm, according to Varner and Beamer, that's when it looks at its business as one unit that spans the globe. In terms of your interview, which is it? How is the person seeing his or her corporation? Also, for use in that same assignment, please make sure to read pages 409 to 433. Very important. Which stage of internationalization is this corporation in? Import-export? Is it multinational? Has a specific division for its international work? Or is it a global firm? Has it become one unit that spans the globe? Another question related to this same assignment, examine communication in your multinational company. Is that ongoing communication based on credentials, context, family orientation, or political principles? Varner and Beamer return to these cultural dimensions as they examine a multinational corporation. In this case, if you choose Chapter 11, please also focus on the Daimler-Chrysler merger. This happened a while ago. In a nutshell, it didn't work. It was supposed to be incredible. You can read about it in more detail here. Another case study. In this case, cultural differences and communication issues in international mergers and acquisition. Another company, or a potential merger. And then what happened? It said subsequently the acquisition proved to be a strategic mistake, as the two companies could not successfully integrate. Why? Well, in the Daimler-Chrysler case study, Daimler-Benz perceived itself as a foremost innovator with a rich engineering and quality heritage building upscale cars. Its culture, look at those key words, its structure and its products. Whereas Chrysler saw itself as a trend setter for new design, short development time. Notice the culture in this case, more relaxed, structure, products. There's a very recent, just a year ago, summary of this same case, cross-cultural issues relating to this merger. I strongly suggest that you read this as well if you have chosen Chapter 11. But again, as I mentioned before, note these key pages as you work to identify the stage of internationalization for your particular multinational corporation. Now, I've taken the various circles that Varner and Beamer have in their text, and I've put them into this table format. And so I would also ask you, as part of this assignment, to consider your multinational corporation in light of these three components. What is its business strategy? What is its intercultural strategy? What about its corporate strategy? So through all of these, can you identify your corporation's international professional communication strategy? That's my challenge to you. And all who listen to this video will know about these key components to dig into as part of that assignment. So I look forward to your discussions as always. It's quite a busy time because you are completing your usability test with your University of Trieste student, but you are also sharing a draft of this report Wednesday of this week. And then you'll have peer review by Friday with the final version due. And notice you will also have the usability memo and your final draft and translation brief. So I know it is a very busy time. So be sure to share questions, and I'll look forward to your work as always. Some great work. Thank you.